7:32, and we'd like to welcome back to the studio Worcester Railers head coach Bob Deraney. Thank you, sir, for coming in this morning.
Good morning, man. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I know you got to get on a bus and go up to Maine. You guys got a preseason game tonight. You're playing the Mariners, and we'll talk about the charity game that's going to be happening tomorrow. Yeah. Again with the Mariners, but this time they're going to be here in Worcester.
Yeah, at the Wick.
But first, how's training camp going? You've been doing that all week. How's it looking?
You know, it's finally here. You know, when I saw you guys in the summer, we were talking about expectations, and we thought we might be the most talented and deepest team we've ever had in the 7 years of the Railers franchise, and that was pure speculation. But now that we've gotten on the ice, we see it. You know, there's no question we're very talented, the forward, defense, and goalie position. But most importantly, in our league, you got to have depth.
Right.
And you got a few guys back. You got a few guys back from Bridgeport now, so your team is becoming the team that we're going to see on the ice a week from tomorrow during the home opener.
Yeah, and it's really great to have them back. We got 7 total, 4 forwards and 3 defensemen, and you talked about guys that have been here before, Riley Percy and Matt Korperud and Christian Krieger. And the great thing about it is they're excited to be back. You think that if they got demoted from the American League team to the East Coast Hockey League team, they'd be kind of down. But they're excited to be back, and they showed it yesterday on the ice. So it's funny, they're all left shots. So
you'll take it.
We'll take it. We could use a little bit of diversity there, but they fit in perfectly, and I'm excited to see us on the ice tonight.
That's awesome. And then, so that's tonight, and you're playing up at Bowdoin?
Yeah, Brunswick, Maine. Bowdoin College, 7 o'clock.
And then you got to truck it back here to Worcester. Yeah. And then tomorrow at the Worcester Ice Center here over near Kelly Square, there's a preseason game. Now, this is a special game. It's a charity game. Yeah. And do you want to talk about that a little bit? It's a sad story, but you guys are trying to help out the family.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock tomorrow at the Wick. All proceeds, it's free admission, but we're looking for a donation for the Seppe Struppa Foundation. A terrific young man, very brave young man. I can handle a lot of things in my life, right? But the one thing I can't handle is a young person tragically dying early. And it's a very touching thing. Got to meet him several times. We've been sponsoring this foundation and having this foundation game for a long time. And, we'll miss the young man. He was wonderful.
Right. And so, it's like the coach said, it's free, but if you could pitch in $5,
that'd be great.
If everybody pitched in $5 or more, there's nothing wrong with donating more.
Yes.
And you can actually reserve a seat. You can go to railershc.com, and there's a tab there you can hit if you want to donate online at the Railers website.
Very brave young man, fought tremendously, and I know we're going to fight just as hard as he fought.
Right, that's awesome. So that's tomorrow night at the Worcester Ice Center.
Thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to help out. Much like the Railers.
That's correct.
Here at the Pike, we try to help any way we can, any way in the community that we can. I know the Railers 2 years in a row.
I believe 4 out of 5 years.
Was it 4 out of 5 years?
Have won the league's Community Service Award.
Yeah. So
we're very proud of that. As much as we're proud of the things we do on the ice, we're even just as proud, if not more proud, of the type of partner we are in the community. And this is just another way of doing that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah. And then next Saturday, the 19th, it's the home opener. It's going to be a giant party. There's going to be a block party on Commercial Street. And that's going to be with the who's Reading? You guys playing Reading?
Reading Royals, yep.
Okay, all right. So that's the big home opener.
2 home openers, yes.
Right. What do you tell the guys? Right before.
What do I tell the guys right before? It's interesting. There comes a point in every game when one team thinks they can and one team thinks they can't. It's really a battle to who can get to that point the quickest. And I talk about being physical is like a boxing match, right? You be physical from the very beginning. Body blows, wear your opponent down. Well, we're not only going to wear them down physically, we want to wear them down mentally and get to that point where we believe we can, and we basically take away the will of Reading to compete. That's what we're trying to do every time somebody comes into our building or we go there.
And so you mentally. So can you give an example? Is that top secret information? What do you shut the hot water off in their locker room? Do you do what the Danbury Trashers guy did? Give them one towel to use between all of them?
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
Take a school bus to the next destination after losses instead of a coach bus. Consider that.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'd still have my job if we did stuff like that. That's funny. Those Red Auerbach days are gone where they turn down the heat in the locker room. Only cold water. It's funny. I was talking with our general manager and associate head coach Nick Tuzzolino yesterday, and we talked about sportsmanship. And he said that's what we're going to be all be about. I mean, we're not going to play any games off the ice. We're not going to play any games on the ice. We're just going to show up every day, and we're going to give you our very best. And most of the time, that's going to be good enough. The key thing for us is to bring our very best every game. Yeah. And that's really hard to do in a 72-game season, but we're going to strive to do it. And it's about being consistent and not beating yourself. Most games are lost, okay, instead of being beaten. And the difference between that is a loss is when you don't play up to your ability. Being beaten is when you play the very best you can. The other team's just better that night. That's going to happen. But we are going to minimize the amount of times that we lose.
Minimize unforced errors.
Yes, that's correct. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, I think you can win by design. And we've talking about that. It doesn't have to be by chance. Okay? And so when you talk about the things that we're going to talk about, it's about being consistent and being reliable to each other.
You keep saying consistent. I would imagine that's one of the biggest challenges operating at the ECHL level with players coming, players going. You know, so consistency must be the biggest challenge there.
I think it starts with me as a head coach. I need to be consistent every day and stick to, everyone's used the term process, right? But there's something to be learned from every game. And it's not to be emotional. It's to just see what we did well. I think it's really simple, honestly. You watch a game, you see what we're doing well individually and collectively as a group, and what we're doing poorly as a group, individually and collectively. And then we work on that the next day. Whether it be through practice, whether it be work through video, correct our mistakes, move forward, repeat. And then what you're doing is you're perfecting what you do. And if you start to perfect we were talking about perfection earlier. Every day we're striving for perfection.
And I had said, well, if you can't, I was thinking that you can't do that because nothing can ever be perfect. But, and I said, okay, well, if you aim above the target.
If you strive for
you'll get closer.
If we relentlessly pursue perfection, we might just catch excellence. So if we continue every day working towards perfection, it's amazing how far we can get to. And it's really just that process.
Bob, I'm a naturally negative guy, and I actually
it's funny. I'm the other way.
actually revel in it. I actually enjoy it. Been a lifelong New England sports fan, so I'm used to it.
The heartache,
there's that. There's just an extra hurtful heartache.
August
with the
Red
Red
Sox. What about the first 20 years of the 2000s? I mean, it can't get much better than that.
Well, no, there was some great, the Patriots obviously, but again at the same time,
those 3 years out of 10 that they lost, he'll bring those up.
They could have won those games. What the hell? They could have. And I lived through the Grogan years, so I feel the pain. I fear the pain every day. And now Drake May, and it's exciting. People are like, I'm excited, I'm enthusiastic. No, you're not. You're going to get your heart squashed once again. He's going to get out there with that Swiss cheese of an O-line. Okay, we're talking about football. We shouldn't be doing that. We're here to talk about hockey.
The beautiful thing about people like Mike is the expectations are so low.
Yeah, you got to do that.
You can only impress them.
But you got to admire his passion.
You got to do that.
He's very passionate about it.
I'm passionate about being negative. So we're exact opposite, Bob. I apologize for that. I know you're trying to bring an atmosphere, positivity here, and I'm just ruining it. All right. That's your Worcester Railers head coach, Bob Deraney. Thank you very much for coming in this morning.
It's a pleasure, boys.
Don't forget, tomorrow, a very special preseason game over at the Worcester Ice Center. And it's free, but they ask for a donation, maybe at least $5.
It's a great cause.
Yeah, it goes towards Seppe Struppa's family. He's a young man who passed away. Geez, that wasn't too long ago, was
Valiant fight.
He had brain cancer, and so they're trying to help out the family. So that's at the Worcester Ice Center down near Kelly Square. You can go online. RailersHC.com. You can reserve a seat there and make a donation there. And while you're there, pick up your tickets for opening night on October 19th. It's
going to be quite a party.
Over at the DCU Center. It is. I can't wait. Been waiting all summer. I'm psyched it's finally here. So, Bob Deraney, thank you very much, man. We appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.